Now, First Alert weather with meteorologist Lisa Villegas.
Good evening. We are jumping to Sunday, even into Monday with this new First Alert. We're talking about some rain chances returning. Heavy downpours, can't rule out some thunderstorms as well associated with a cold front. But that rain could linger around into Monday morning. The reason we've extended that, some of us heading back to school Monday morning. Do you believe that already? Well, as we break down these 2 days, Sunday, this is going to be the big day. Widespread shower thunderstorms, like I said, associated with that cold front that moves through. And as we head into Monday, lingering that morning and then maybe even that afternoon, could see another shower thunderstorm firing up. But here's a loop in what we can expect. Now, as we get closer, especially as we head into the weekend, we are really going to pinpoint this down. But taking a look in the afternoon there, Sunday starts to ramp up. You can see those brighter colors on your screen indicating heavier downpours. And then early Monday morning, not as impressive, but there is that possibility of a downpour or two. We're still several days out. The timing can get adjusted. And if that timing slows down or speeds up, I mean, we are talking about a completely different forecast, and Monday could be a little more intense as well. So let's talk about tomorrow first, because tomorrow morning, my favorite time of the 7-day forecast, 65 degrees, low humidity continuing. It's just going to be fantastic. John was telling me he had coffee outside this morning. Do it again tomorrow morning with that low humidity. Now by tomorrow afternoon, we continue with it being comfortable humidity wise, but the temperatures, they do start to shoot up. So 90 degrees expected for the high. Yes, we'll notice that lower humidity, but you're going to feel the heat. So overall 90 degrees, low 90s down in the Sandhills as well. But as we fast forward into Saturday, something to note, those showers and thunderstorms we're expecting more so out towards the west of I-77. Our First Alert in place, more widespread showers and thunderstorms into Sunday, and then early Monday morning as those temperatures remain in the 80s. Shower and thunderstorm chances continuing all of next week as well, with overnight lows in the 70s. And that is a look what we can expect.